Hi guys, this is Bryan Capone from the Capone for Your Home team, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors in Center City, Philadelphia. For today's vlog, we're going to mix up a little bit, have some fun. There was an article that came out this week on Philly.com quoting some of my peers in Center City about just some of the weird and strange stuff we see in the world of real estate and selling real estate, particularly when we're working for buyers and we go into vacant homes and vacant properties. And they talked about everything from, you know, encountering naked people to all sorts of, pets floating around. So I'm going to touch on that briefly, but I also want to talk about just disclosure when you're selling a home and certain things have happened in a home. It's haunted, you had a murder or a suicide within a property. So a few of the funny things that I've seen over the years. The article mentioned animals. I remember walking into a property in Bella Vista and there was a turtle just hanging out in the rug, just free reign in the room, moving around all over the place. I thought that was kind of funny. We didn't even get upfront notice about that. Sometimes they tell you look out for the dog, make sure you close the door for the cat, stuff like that. I remember a property in Fairmount. I swear this had to be intentional. The seller, he must have just left, knew we were coming, and must have been there in the afternoon and left just before we got there. He, I think, was an FBI agent, and his gun and badge were flat out sitting on the dining room table, like right there. And I'm not a gun guy, so I didn't really know how to react. We just kept it moving. Very early in my career, I remember going into a big Kensington warehouse. I don't even know what its former use was. And this guy, he was living in this place, and I mean, it was just like tires and cars. I don't even know where like the shower and the actual livability component of it was. That property, if I recall correctly, he sold it. That property ultimately burnt down, and I believe, unfortunately, at least one Philadelphia firefighter died in that fire. A wall collapsed, and that was a big deal. I think it was ultimately owned by some New York investors, and there was the whole L&I issue there. That was sad, but I remember that property was cool. There was feral cats all over the place, but I wouldn't have lived there. So, which leads you to two things. You're representing a seller and someone believes the home is haunted, right? Windows or lights flicker, closet doors mysteriously open and close. Does that need to be disclosed? Technically, no, in Pennsylvania, but I'm a believer that if you feel that a certain way, now, a haunted home is a little bit different because some people just flat out don't believe in stuff like that. Some people definitely do. So, if you said, hey, I don't believe in it, even if the lights flicker, the door's closed, we think it's coincidental, there's probably a better argument for not disclosing that, right? But it's ultimately up to the seller, up to the agent if you want to disclose it, although they legally, technically do not have to. What if there's a murder or suicide in a home? I sold a home where there was a suicide in the house. In PA, you don't have to disclose that. I'm the type of person where I wouldn't even have taken the listing if I didn't disclose something like that. Murder, suicide, whatever it is. Death in a home is pretty common, particularly in an old city like Philly, because I'm sure people have died of natural causes hundreds of years ago in a particular home. But when it's stigmatized with a suicide or a murder, that's a different story. You technically don't, but I've been schooled and I practice my business. Disclose, disclose, disclose. I feel like some people it's not bothered. It doesn't bother them whatsoever. Other people would want to know that, and they may, they would change their purchasing decision if they knew someone died, whether, again, through murder or suicide in a home. Some people want to know what room it was in, and that makes a difference. Regardless, you technically don't have to, but I think it's in everyone's best interest, and it's how we run our business at the Capone for Your Home team, to disclose those things. So just a few tidbits, fun facts. Selling real estate in Center City, Philadelphia never gets old. Bryan Capone, Capone for Your Home team, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors. Thank you.